Chupacabra bill number 28, I think. Got my NCIS Erwig in and all is good. This one is not going to be as choreographed as the ones in the past. I'm to a point where I want to show you some things, and I've got the build far enough to do it, but it's kind of an awkward place here, so bear with me on this one. But what I want to talk about today is rear axles. Some of you know that some years ago I researched the Corvette C5 hub, which these are very similar. This is a C6 hub. But a Corvette C5 hub, under $100 brand new at the local auto parts store. Very nice unit. Bolt pattern's good. Everything fits. Everything works. The chassis work plans for replica cars designated a C5, and that's kind of become the standard of the industry, I think, from that. But the C5 hub used a 27, 29, 30 spline, whatever it was, number of splines, and then you're trying to go to a flange style, usually a Porsche gearbox. Well, the typical way to do it back then was to go to either Summers Brothers out in California or the drive shaft shop in North Carolina and have custom-made $2,000 axles made. And I said, wait, let's think about this. So I went to my buddies at the local O'Reilly Auto Parts, and they humored me on another typical strange request and gave me their A1 Cardone catalog, and I spent all afternoon going through their catalog, and my thought was, if I can find a spline pattern that matches the C5 and just find an axle that has a flange style inner CV joint. There's about 4 different styles of these. There's an internal deal, there's an external. But if I can just find any of them that's got a flange, I can build an adapter plate a whole lot cheaper than I can buy $2,000 axles. So I did all that, and I found out that Toyota had axles that worked with a C5 and everything. The links, there was about 12 links that put me right in the ballpark. Everything was great. I had my buddy Eric Martin at AE Auto that does all the adapter plates and some rear end drivetrain work for these cars. Do the adapter plates. The splines out here didn't quite, although the pattern matched, they were sunk in, so you had to have a special made countersunk nut there that Eric built for me. And for a couple of $100 worth of custom stuff, I could use axles that were under $100 brand new off the shelf. And that was pretty dang close, and I liked it, but it was still not just exactly off the shelf. So on this one, I said, all right, a C6 hub is about $20 more because it's ABS, but a C6 hub, one of them has 27, 29, 30 splines, the other one has the other one. I don't remember which it is, but I said, what if I used a C6 hub? And what if I went through the catalog again, and what if I found out what would work with that spline pattern and what axles would be available for that? I did that, and I found that Toyota axles and Lexus axles are different. But a Lexus axle does have the correct spline pattern for a C6, and it fits a Corvette C6 hub absolutely perfect. And the nut that comes with the axle goes right on there, absolutely perfect, and it is a perfect fit. The links that are available in this are absolutely correct. This is a Master Pro part number 60-5138, 60-5061. I said, great, perfect, this is good. I've got a good thick axle here, under $100 brand new. I've eliminated $100 worth of custom-made nuts out here. I'm making progress. Now let me see what kind of an adapter plate I need right here. Guess what? That's the same pattern as a Porsche Audi gearbox. Don't even need an adapter plate. Now I have machined a little plate here that kind of indexes it. See, there's a taper here that catches that. It'll index off of just the bolt holes, but I didn't like that, so I did that. That indexes there. Then it has a flange right here. Come around here, let me show you. If you can see in here, see that flange right there, see how it catches in here, catches that that shoulder right there indexes that and grabs that like that. So now then the two pieces are perfectly indexed to each other. This also helps a lot. It had a little bit of problem. There's not a whole lot of surface area for a seal to seal your axle grease in. This gives you a real nice surface area to seal the axle grease. So anyway, now I've got this. Now I've got these axles. Spent an extra 20 bucks for ABS sensors that I chopped off and threw away. But the C6 hub is just a whole lot easier to use than the C5 hub. These axles, the spacers on the end, I could justify that in the past because I needed an attenuator for the Hall effect sensor. And those things are about 100 bucks. And I said, well, if I spend 100 bucks for adapter plates and it's got an attenuator on it, I had to have a $100 attenuator anyway. But now then, with VDO, used to be you had to have a $100 Hall effect sensor and a $100 attenuator. Now the satellite GPS sensor for the Speedo is 100 bucks, so it's 100 bucks less there, and I don't need it anymore. Another thing about the spacers, you could vary the thickness to kind of fine-tune the width of the axles if you got in the ballpark. These are absolutely perfect for my use. There's about 1.5 inches of play in these things that you can use to your advantage, and when these are in the car, it is right in the middle of its play. Another thing I've done, these axles had ABS sensors on them, and they're just a pressed-on deal. Since we're not using ABS or anything, I just pop those off to make it look clean. But that's on the left. Right. This is a really, really nice axle setup for a couple of $100 as opposed to $2,000. So now I'm going to bolt all of that on. You can see my C6 hub in here. Again, see the way that just goes Lexus to Corvette like it was made for it. And then it goes Lexus to Porsche like it was made for it. So, thought that was pretty cool. Only downside of the whole deal, you got 20, 40, 60, $80 here that you're throwing in the trash, but you're still ahead financially. It's a cleaner assembly, it looks nicer, everything is off the shelf. Well pleased with this axle setup. Alright, now that we've got that, I'm going to put these together. Call that a wrap.